Hello, welcome to Wookies on X-Wing. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Matt.
And today we're going over the top tables for the latest Star Wars event that I ran.
Alright, so this is round one. This is another of our Matts versus Pat. Matt is the Rebel player. He's a Bandit Squadron, Gemmer, Jake Farrell, and Kayan Farlander. And his opponent is Pat, who is running his usual 3 bounty hunter list that he is so enamored of.
So, of course, they're placing asteroids. It seems like, for the most part, the standard asteroid deployment, no one's necessarily gaining or trying to place the asteroids in a very difficult position, but looks like Patrick is trying to keep the asteroids relatively... Not real plan on the asteroids there.
See the pants. The best way to play it.
Well, you'd expect a lot of large ship players to try to generate lanes, and for the most part, the closest part of the map to our camera is relatively clean, and it's very clustered up in one area. It's going to be very interesting to see what the bounty hunter player is going to do with this kind of asteroid arrangement, especially since the X-Wing has a lot of maneuverability.
Alright, so they're just doing deployment now. Matt's starting with his Bandit Squadron. He's gonna have quite the pilot skill advantage here, so it'll be up to him to leverage that in his A-Wing's maneuverability.
The 3 bounty hunter list is very solid. It doesn't necessarily go with a lot of the same strategies that you would see with a TIE swarm or even a Han shoots first list, but the trick to fighting it is arc dodging, and we're going to see in this video whether our friend Matt has what it takes to keep out of those firing arcs and use that pilot skill advantage like you said.
Oh, it looks like he doesn't have K in. It looks like it's I'm not sure who he's playing.
Well, a B-Wing is a relatively strong offensive attacker. It runs into the problem of maneuverability if you don't have support for it. But having a barrel roll on a Rebel ship is pretty amazing, especially with Jake Farrell in there. Barrel rolling A-Wings are just all kinds of silly.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. Being able to focus and then boost afterwards or barrel afterwards is definitely handy. So it looks like Pat's deployed all the way in one corner, kind of a refused flank. The exact opposite corner that Matt is deployed in. So
yeah, I noticed that also Matt's ships are very interestingly deployed. A lot of Rebel players have usually a formation that they're going by, but it seems like Matt has a plan or strategy to take advantage of this arc dodging.
So we've got pretty standard first turn of movement. There's not gonna be a whole lot that goes on. Looks like Pat's gonna try and navigate the asteroid field there. That can definitely be difficult with large ships.
Yeah, especially with the Firespray. It doesn't have as good of a dial as the Falcon does, but it can move quite well in a pinch.
Yeah, it doesn't have that one hard turn.
Yeah, that one hard turn really makes and breaks a lot of games. I mean, it's just gravy that the Falcon has a 360-degree arc, but the fact that the back arc does not count, does count for the purposes of negating outmaneuver and things like that, really does play into the strengths of the Firespray. As you see here, Matt's barrel rolling, hopefully to get himself into a further position later on in the game. And Jake is boosting.
Gemmer found a
Oh,
secret on the
Gemmer.
internet.
What is it? That's
And
Gemmer.
then Jake was at 9, will perform 801.
So he's coming. Looks like he's trying to come around to come at the sides of the fire sprays. Don't get in the dangerous ends of them.
I'm very interested to see what's going to happen to that B-Wing. It seems like it's at the moment going in alone, but B-Wing can really just slow on the brakes there, doing one forwards until it gets into the optimal position, waiting for the rest of the squadron to get into place. It looks like
He will focus for his first action.
There it is.
Barrel roll.
there's Jake's focus and barrel roll action.
And then he will push the limit to perform a boost.
Push the limit for a boost.
Use the boost, Luke.
The fact that an A-Wing has such maneuverability just makes it such a great ship. And the pilots with Jake and the fact that you can refit it, lowering its points value, is a great value for an A-Wing.
Alright, so we're on to turn 2.
Dials have been locked in, and we're going to see what's going on here. I have a feeling that the fire sprays are going to be doing a nice banking maneuver, trying to basically get a kill box going in. I'm interested to see what the rebel player is going in, though.
Yeah, baby. Hoorah. Okay. He's going to focus because that's the only thing he has access to at the moment.
Okay. So I'm gonna move these guys.
So here we go.
Move him first.
Got a hard, late
There's the
right
bank
There's-
on one of them.
Yes, with that.
So let's see if the rest of the fire sprays are going to stick with formation or if they're going to break off and do their own thing.
I'll cut these if you can Skype commentary.
Looks like they're trying to figure out what he's trying to figure out who wants to go in first.
Because I don't think anybody wants to listen to us talk about
Trying to formation fly these large ships is interesting.
If you're not used to it, it's very difficult to do. And most Imperial players aren't used to flying a lot of large ships. The shuttle being something that you would see normally with maybe a Doom shuttle, but it does not have the maneuverability, and you won't see more than one of them. The fact that he's flying 3 bounty hunters is going to be very tricky, and as you see there, he just bumps, losing his action. Looks like he was planning on using the rear firing arc for the fire spray for later turns.
But then you're locked into the
The
target.
B-Wing is moving up a lot faster than I had originally anticipated.
I'm going to.
Looks like Matt's got a plan. We should see some combat this turn.
Absolutely.
How effective it is, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Sorry, what is Jake doing first before I? Maybe I do have to barrel roll one. I don't know.
With the new Rebel Aces kit, the B-Wing has a lot more punch. It had a lot of punch before, but the fact that it now has a lot more options allows you to customize it a lot more, making it a great addition to your squadron.
Oh snap! Crackle pops.
Yeah, the fact you can put crewmen on it opens up a whole realm of possibilities.
Barrel roll.
Matt's trying to decide what he's going to do. Looks like he's decided.
Try and whittle down your HPs. Yeah.
Target lock is a really good action, especially on a Rebel player. Even if you don't get to use that target lock this turn, you could probably get a chance to use it in the next.
Right. That's good. That's fine.
So the A-Wing moves up. Didn't hit the asteroid this turn,
He's in a tough spot.
but yes, he's in a tough spot. Unfortunately for the A-Wings, they are very, very fast and have a lot of defense dice, but if they lose those actions, they're going to hurt. Much like an Imperial fighter.
Oh, son of a bitch. Can you boost through an asteroid? No. guess I just
Looks like he's
have to-
flying through an asteroid next turn.
Yeah, take it. I'll focus.
Stick it like I'm on.
Unfortunately, with the exception of Jake, or if you put the expert handling upgrade on your A-Wing, you're not going to see barrel rolling A-Wings.
Okay, this is
And that barrel roll is just one of the best upgrades in the game. Being able to preemptively avoid asteroids or arc dodge is very good.
I should have.
Oh, and Jake, looks like Jake had a bump.
Fire.
Yeah. Cannibal fire on your.
Alright, here we go. We
Yeah.
have some combat this turn.
Jake losing his action is really going to hurt if he gets shot at. The action economy of that fighter is just so high, and losing all those actions at once is just it's just a shame, really.
Oh, the B-Wing landed a good solid hit, though.
You're shooting.
Front bounty on turn.
He's going to need some help from those other fighters in order to really take down this. The bounty hunters are not exactly glass cannons. They can take a punch, and they need to be focus fired down really quickly.
Bounty on turn.
No.
Okay. Take your shot.
Woo! You know,
Alright, so turn 3.
hard 3.
Looks like the headhunter is joining the fray.
It's not. It's a 795. He is going to attempt to target lock.
He's got his blood up.
See if he can stay in that arc,
The chickadee dinnerist.
avoiding shots.
So here we go. The brick moves.
Sure. It's a solid move.
Well, if he doesn't die, he's definitely going to be able to shoot, but that's through an asteroid, so he's gonna be at least 2 versus 3 there.
This guy goes the same.
That's exciting. I think I can get out of the arc.
Conga line of bounty hunters.
Target lock.
It's very clear that the bounty hunters are going to get a lot of shots in this turn. Let's see what kind of damage they do. The 3 attack dice is fairly potent. Doesn't have the synergy of a lot of rebel lists, but it can be modified by target locks and focus. And sometimes being lucky is what you need to be as a bounty hunter.
Yeah, it looks like that back guy's having some trouble getting turned around. He's getting stuck behind his buddies.
The fact that he only has 3 ships, losing an attack like that might be unfortunate.
And he's going to barrel roll.
There we go.
Very nice barrel roll, arc dodging. He's really close to the second one, but he's only getting shot at by 1 rather than 2.
B-Wings are
Wanted to move him
not
first.
very maneuverable over the long distance, but in a tight quarter, it can be hard to pin down.
And then Sojan will become a 4 straight ahead.
Oh, it looks like he's just punching Jemmer straight through.
Well, Jimmer wants to be close to enemy fighters.
He's focused.
Even if he loses his action, he gets an extra defense dice.
Against everything attacking him.
For,
And he came out scot-free. He didn't take a point with that one.
Let's just hope that his luck doesn't run out.
Oh, and he lost the action with Jake.
That's 2 turns in a row. That is really going to hurt his action economy.
Which is so shitty.
Alright, so firing round.
Alright, so 9 shoots on this.
The back?
Yeah, the number 5.
Okay.
Alright,
He
so
can't shoot at number 6.
Jake's taking his shots. Didn't quite make it into range 1 of the back hunter.
Yeah. But he hits.
One of a. Wow. Identical.
So it seems like their luck is equally matched. No hits were landed.
Goes down to your 7.
My 2 sevens.
Okay.
Gemmer will fire in.
Jemmer's going to take his shots at the closest bounty hunter there. Oh, he landed reasonably good. Oh, that hurt.
That hurt really hard. That was a very lucky roll on Matt's part, and very unlucky roll on Pat's.
And then Firelander will fire into this same bounty hunter.
Alright, and his B-Wing's opening up. This is 4 dice.
And he will target lock to reroll these.
There we go. There we see that persistent target lock coming into effect. Unfortunate, but it was a good try.
Takes one.
Landed a point onto the hull.
That's not your deck.
Oh.
The fact that the fire sprays are lining up like this makes it very easy to focus fire them. Unfortunately, with the smaller fighters going mostly going after him, he's going to have to figure out where he wants to place his guys, his fighters, in order to avoid losing those actions that he's already lost.
Oh, and Matt had a big roll against big hit against Gemmer and flubbed his attack dice. Or flubbed his defense dice. It's in there. It hurts.
It does hurt. It hurts. It hurts when it happens to Gemmer. It hurts when it happens to a Phantom. Losing nothing, not even a focus token. Not that it would have helped him, but it's really morally crushing when something like that happens. But that is the cost of losing actions.
Well, that was Gemmer. That wasn't even him. Oh yeah, that's true. He went through the asteroid, so. I was getting shots at. Looks like at Jake that time. Yep. Jake just lost his shields.
So what a lot of players, especially newer players, don't realize is that the attack dice versus the defense dice are not equal. There is more chances of getting a hit than it is chances of getting an evade, and unless you have focus or evade tokens to help you on that, if you're just banking on being lucky, the odds are not stacked in your favor.
Alright, so next turn. Matt's that was a rough turn for Matt. He put some good damage on a Firespray, but he took a lot of hits in return.
Yeah, hasn't lost any fighters yet, so he's not out of the game, but he has to really pull it out in order to take out these Firesprays. Or pray to the luck gods.
He's not leaving a lot of room for Pat to maneuver, though. Looks like, yep, Pat's landed on an asteroid.
So he doesn't get a hit, however, that Firespray isn't shooting. Not going to be able to make a total advantage of that rear firing arc this turn. Breaking formation with his Firespray.
He's just landed on another one.
This is going to be a rough turn for Pat. We'll see what Matt does, see how he takes advantage of this situation.
Well, Pat's getting lucky and not getting hit by the asteroids at least.
But landing on them is going to be rough. So one Firespray gets an action, acquiring a target lock.
Target locking Jake. Hoping he's going to end up in his rear arc or saving it for later turns.
Firelander will perform a 3 straight ahead.
You don't think you're going to get fired out at... It's not a bad play.
No, especially if you have the actions. You might as well.
I was expecting a 2K turn from that B-Wing, especially given the positions of the Firesprays.
Yeah, we'll see what the A-Wings do, but that Headhunter ended up conveniently in a very nice spot.
Arc dodging that Headhunter is a very nice, agreed. It's attempting to barrel roll.
Looks like he's, if not get out of his arc, get further away from him.
Given the dial of the B-Wing, being able to barrel roll and trying to figure out, manipulate where you're going to be in the future turns is part of the strategy that will help you win a game.
Ah, so he's got pushed the limit on his B-wing. He's pushing to target lock.
Interesting play.
B-wings are hard to get rid of stress on.
That's why Jake is such a favorite now. Being able to use that.
Oh, Kayan, yeah.
Yes, sorry, Kayan. Being able to use that stress offensively, shedding it, even if you don't get a focus result on your dice, still being able to shed that stress on a B-wing is golden.
It really is. All right, so Gemmer's drifting forward as slow as a A-wing can.
He does not.
Oh, looks like he's suffering from a critical effect he had to resolve.
And then Jake, I think,
I'm gonna try to repair.
is going to bump. 3K turn.
Oh,
Bumps a lot.
Does not look like he's getting shot at this turn, but that is not a good place to be for an A-wing.
especially because he tried to K-turn.
Oh, that is rough. Shedding that stress will not be too difficult for the A-wing,
Jake will fire 3 dice
but
into your bounty hunter.
it is going to be difficult given his current position.
1 potential crit.
Looks like that was Gemmer shooting at a bounty.
And then Gemmer will fire into this bounty
Or
hunter.
Jake shooting into a bounty hunter.
Nothing. And then you have this guy.
Oh, Gemmer's had his primary weapons damaged. He's only rolling 1 dice.
Oh, that is brutal for an A-wing. 1 attack dice is not
Will fire.
a happy camper.
Cool. That was a bad turn.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate.
Okay.
Hmm.
So bank 2.
Part 2.
Towards you.
All right, so dials have been locked in. Seems to be just a cacophony of mess ups on both players' sides, losing actions, losing shots, and just rolling poorly. Does not. Oh, and another asteroid hit. This is just a rough matchup.
Target lock.
Oh no, he didn't quite land on it.
Oh well, that is great.
So, my go?
Yes.
I want to see if that's going to be a bump.
Yeah. No, it's it happens with ships this large to try and plan around. If you're not used to playing against them, it can be hard to deal with where they're going to end up, let alone where the rest of your fleet's going to end up.
Using that headhunter to block the Firespray there was a very interesting move, though.
It kept him on the asteroid.
The Firespray doesn't have a great attack dice, and it has a very, very difficult dial to work with. However, you're not really too shot up about if they lose actions. So having a cheap blocker like that will help keep the rest of the squadron in the game.
Oh, the headhunter. Yeah, no, it's. If you're used to playing with X-wings, it flies very similar. But yeah, if for 12 points, if you lose it, you lose it. If you don't, awesome. You can promote him later. Alright, so he's trying to bring one of his fire sprays back into the fight with a K-turn. And then just trying to turn the other one around.
As we talked about earlier, not having that one hard turn really hurts the Firesprays.
Yeah, in tight quarters there, they get a little hard to maneuver.
Okay.
Having the 1 bank is definitely a bonus, but
So, 7s.
especially if you're used to playing the Falcons, it's a little different to get your head wrapped around this thing. That is Kian. Okay. Ah, he has veteran instincts on Gemmer. Okay. That makes a little more sense. It's a little,
Oh, no, it doesn't.
a lot easier to shed stress off Kane.
Assign your ship up. Yes, because I removed the stress by performing a green action.
distress and is assigned a focus token. That sounds like that's Mr. Katarn, isn't it?
That does sound like Kyle Katarn.
He doesn't have the room to barrel roll over.
If this was my play, I would barrel roll outward and set myself up for next turn.
Looks like that's exactly what he's going to try to do. He's safe this turn because that one Firespray that could shoot him is on an asteroid, so that's not happening.
I'm setting up for next turn.
None of the other ones are close enough or have him in arc.
You could really just burn the actions to set yourself up for a future turn.
There's no point in pushing the limit this turn. So, okay, good. Then, Cameron. A hard 3.
Right.
Matt's really going to have to try to get those faster, more agile fighters into a position that he can make use of them before they get circled.
He just flew through an asteroid.
It's fine.
Oh no.
That is very unfortunate.
I've been there. It's spicy when that happens. Oh, he's all right. Maybe.
I think the bump was actually might put him on the asteroid now. It
like
does.
So you, what, 1 call left?
Oh, he just took a point.
Alright. So,
No shot.
This is going to be rough. Losing one of those A-wings like that is just a slap in the face.
Yeah, I've flown my Phantoms through asteroids before. It's not fun.
Z95 will perform a sharp 2.
Oh, looks like Matt's he's just rocking the asteroids.
And then you can roll. Man, oh man. I haven't missed a single one of those.
Another asteroid hit. It looks like,
They're Pat's MVP this game.
yeah.
Now you're freeze.
so this guy,
I was originally thinking that the asteroids were going to be a bigger threat to the fire sprays, but on this is just not happy for the rebel player.
this guy,
It's going to be very difficult to recover from this now.
Yeah, not at all.
Those fire sprays are getting into position.
and he'll keep the focus that I forgot to clean last round.
Sure enough. Okay.
And this guy is going to do a sharp 2 as well. If we need to try a cake,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Starting to set up a bit of a kill box here with his forward and rear arcs.
Yeah, the crossfire from those fire sprays is going to be very difficult for that A-wing.
That's my target lock.
Oh,
Either he gets out of both of them, or he's stuck in both of them from the looks of this. Luckily, A-wings do have that boost action if he doesn't bump again.
Alright. So 7. Firelander will perform a hard 1.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Jake does on his turn. He's trying to bring Can around.
And then he stressed.
Can's in a very good position to light up one of those fire sprays. Fortunately, the one that he's firing at is not the more damaged one. It's the least damaged one.
Yeah, the damaged one broke contacts pretty early.
When those fighters disengage, you really have to get on their tail.
Oh, looks like Jake just bumped as well.
Target
Well,
lock.
bumping one of the fire sprays is not that bad, but considering that kill box, he's
He's not. Okay.
Giving him a barrel roll.
Jake didn't bump.
very close.
There we go. This is why I like him.
Arc dodging with an A-wing, very solid.
He's focused and target locked. Hopefully he can do some damage to this fire spray.
But you can't see him anyway. I'm out of your fire now.
well, you're not sure about that, Matt.
Okay, well, we'll see. Alright, so Jake is
Yeah,
going
he's
to fire.
Yeah.
just a fun ship to fly. Ah, there he is. He has proton rockets. This is gonna hurt.
5 attack dice, here we go.
I like to run Tycho with proton rockets.
Suspend his focus, however.
So he can usually hit most, if not all. And looks like he landed every single one of those.
4 shields gone. That might put Matt back in the fight.
Oh, yeah, 4 shields gone.
Yes.
One fell swoop.
Let's see what kind of damage Kian can put on that bounty hunter.
Yeah, Farlander's next, and he's actually stressed. And Farlander will fire into the same bounty hunter. Range 3.
Alright, so he's got 3 versus 3 here. Farlander having that pseudo focus of his.
And he's going to spend his stress to focus that, gaining a focus.
There we go. He landed 3 hits. Let's see how many of the
When you attack, you can remove a stress.
see how many of the Firespray can dodge. He takes 2 hits. Oh, good shot. And Kyle kicked in, and now that B-Wing is focused for the inevitable return fire.
Yeah, do it again.
B-Wing is very, very, very tough.
That's a good target.
Not very dodgy.
Well, looks like the
Yes. One evade.
the headhunter's in trouble.
That headhunter is a hull point away from being scrap.
But it hits the outer.
Looks like he's not going to shoot at the B-Wing this turn.
Was that range 2 or range 3?
Trying to kill Jake.
That B-Wing is probably going to be in his firing arc's next turn. Now the trick really is, when you're fighting a B-Wing, is to focus it down. You don't do it half-assed.
Let's see if Matt can roll defense dice. Not this turn. Oh,
Munitions failure.
it's almost soul crushing seeing all those dice come up with nothing.
No, that's true. So my Zed doesn't have a shot. Cleaning up.
And the headhunter not being able to fire.
Form a hard 2.
Alright, here we go.
Cool. Legitimately couldn't care less. Okay.
Headhunter bumping, losing actions, but still target locked for the most part. A target lock from early in the game.
Coming a little bit.
Sarcasm.
Oh, right, yes.
Alright. That, oh.
Being in that firing arc is going to hurt that headhunter. Only 1 defense dice left. Matt is going to have to get really lucky with that, and unfortunately, luck has not been on his side.
Oh, he got a little lucky there.
I'm rolling like garbage.
Well,
I can't roll an evade for
the Firespray isn't shooting, but he hasn't done a point of damage with asteroids yet.
These are obviously Imperial asteroids.
The asteroids chose sides. Yeah, that Firespray is going to be going before the headhunter though, so he's in some trouble.
3 straight ahead.
Let's see what Kayan's doing.
He's keeping on that Firespray, maybe hoping that he can pluck it off.
Does he still have his target lock on your guy? Yes, he does. That's adorable.
I don't see no bowl.
Bold move with the barrel roll.
Oh, great. Don't let it get into range 1, though.
He's debating.
Fine, I don't care. He can't shoot anything.
Unfortunately, because he's placed the barrel roll, he is now committed to the action. He is just able to complete the action.
And his second action will be to focus, which will stress him out.
So far, focused and he's stressed.
He is super focused.
And he's still target locked from the turn before. He's in a good spot. Focused and stressed.
Yeah, and that's range 2.
Yep.
Alright, here he goes. Let's see what Kayan can do. Put some more hurt on that Firespray.
Stress to turn all of his no focuses into
Oh, good hit.
Sure. And then now he made one take 2.
that kills him. Nope. Oh,
And he spends his stress, even though he's hit 3 times.
yeah.
Nice way to get rid of it. And the Firespray takes 2 more points of damage.
Yep.
That's range 2.
Wow.
Now this Firespray is going to try and confirm the kill on that Headhunter.
And then we'll target lock.
Not looking good for our Firespray. One potential. Target locking for... And that's a dead head. Yeah, that's a dead headhunter.
Oh, okay.
And and this game is pretty much over. I think looks like Matt's gonna can try to kill the Firespray next turn to improve his margin of victory. But it looks like this game's turns are numbered.
The B-Wing has a resilience to stick around for at least another turn. And the fact that Farlander already has a target lock on that Firespray makes it very, very, very likely that he might be able to score at least enough hits to put him into the dirt.
Yeah, and he's trying to get as far away from the B-Wing as he can.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give up those points.
Check range for target lock.
See, in my opinion, that was a bit of a mistake.
This guy.
I would have just evaded. He checked the target range for the target lock anyway, but giving your opponent a quick access to see exactly where he should try to be in order to get that hit.
So yeah, it looks like Pat's trying to set up a kill box with his B-Wing to blow it out of this guy. Now this is a very, very unique formation to the Firesprays.
Yeah, the fact that they can just moon you and rip you apart at the same time is not exactly the best thing ever for your opponent.
It doesn't feel good.
And I believe that the Firespray player, the bounty hunter, is going to be able to get shots off with all 3.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it.
Fortunately, that one defense dice that the B-Wing has, not going to be able to save him in a situation like this. However, barrel rolling out of the firing arcs of at least one of them might be a possibility. But he's going to hide behind the asteroid, hoping that extra defense dice is going to save him.
Yeah.
Given Matt's previous history this game with defense dice, I would not have banked on that.
If you die.
He is bound and determined to kill that Firespray.
You still have a defense roll. Yes.
Alright, let's see what he does.
All 3 blanks. Spending his target lock. Let's see if he can take it out.
And then he's going to stress to focus.
And that was not what he needed.
One of the dices and one over here. Yeah.
He evades with both, and the Firespray lives.
And that's it.
And that's game.
So stay tuned. We'll be doing, there's more coverage. We have 3 more games we filmed. And thanks for joining us. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you very much.